So upcoming Friday nights, me and the degenerate boys that we are, we're coming back with the betting show.
You look at the way he bounces off tacklers, the way that he keeps his eyes downfield, his vision, his ability to find holes, his pass catching ability, right? Because he had.
In my lifetime, I'd put him at probably around the 2 area, with, again, the only other person up there being King Richard.
Anthony Richardson or Caleb Williams at the 111.
Yeah.
So just hit us.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of B.S.ing Sports, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. You saw me a little bit last night if you tuned in, but this morning we're here to talk fantasy football with the first game kicking off in 21 minutes. We have a Europe game this morning, so 9:30 Eastern time that game will kick off. Big piece of injury news that will impact fantasy lineups in that game. We will get to that in a second, but first, here with me, as always, or most of the time, always, on these fantasy shows, is my good friend, my co-host, JJC. Which is the initials of my grandpa. We're talking Jacob J. Krogan. How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm good, brother. How you been?
Oh, I'm good, man. Can't complain. Fantasy is not my friend through 3 weeks, and I feel like week 4 is going to kind of go the same way.
Yeah, I see what you mean by injury news, because I was just like, oh, shoot, I got 21 minutes. I have to make sure all my lineups are okay.
Yeah, that piece of injury news is Jaylen Warren, who was expected to play all the way up till this morning, turns out to be inactive. Said he did not feel great after Saturday's practice, did not wake up feeling good, so he is inactive. Jake, let's just get right into it, man. What are the fantasy implications of Jaylen Warren being out? Who's up? Who's down? What do you expect from this?
I mean, who's up is Kenneth Gainwell. So, I mean, he is the backup running back there. He's the only one that did things.
Well, we have a fantasy question in here. The True Six King, if you guys do not know who that is probably one of our most, if not the most loyal supporter, Mr. Ginger himself. Is Chuba Hubbard playing today, do you think? It sounds like he's expected to play, but I read that about Jaylen Warren too, and he didn't.
You got to stay on top of it. We can't control everything. We can't give you the ins and outs of everybody's injuries, but
I will say I do have Chuba Hubbard in all my lineups where I have Chuba Hubbard. I am expecting him to play. I think it's very uncommon to see a player expected to play and then turn around and be inactive the last possible second. I think today's a bit of a fluke compared to what it normally is. But Jake, anyway, you said Kenneth Gainwell is up.
I mean, if you want, maybe this is Caleb Johnson's breakout game. I mean, he is third on the depth chart. He's going to be the backup. I mean, I don't see it. The Vikings' run defense is extremely good, so but he's probably going to get some carries after being a no-show for so long. We'll see what we can get there. Outside of that, I mean, Kenneth Gainwell, if you're doing a DFS, if you're doing anything for this game, or if you're betting on it, take his receiving yards, because, I mean, that's what he was doing. And I think I saw it at like 14 and a half. I would take the over on that.
Yeah, so Kenneth Gainwell, a lot of people questioned why he was playing so much in Philadelphia. Kenneth Gainwell is an extremely good pass blocking running back. So I really like the fact that you said receiving yards, because being on the field as a running back in those scenarios where you can catch the dump off, so maybe get a few yards here or there, especially with Aaron Rodgers, who historically loves throwing to his running backs. He loved doing it to Aaron Jones when he was in Green Bay, Breece Hall, obviously, when he was in New York. I think that's a great play. I agree with everything you said. One name I want to add to it is DK Metcalf, because I think that they end up throwing the football, maybe 10% more than they would have had, Jaylen Warren been healthy. So I expect the passing game to see a bit of an uptick. I'm actually now debating on starting Aaron Rodgers over Dak Prescott. How do you feel about that?
I don't like that personally. But just because the Vikings defensive line is good, and so they're going to get to Aaron Rodgers, and he's old and immobile.
But
I just don't like it. I'm out on Aaron Rodgers 100%.
But Dak Prescott's playing Green Bay without CeeDee Lamb.
See, but I think he'll be fine.
You think he has a better chance to survive that pass rush?
Yeah, because he still has Pickens. Jalen Tolbert's going to see an uptick. He has his security blanket, which is huge for me and the love of Jake Ferguson. And so,
that's true. Dude, Jake Ferguson. You said in the beginning of the year, Jake Ferguson's going to be a tight end 1, and with what he have 13 catches last week. Yeah, I think he's on pace.
Oh, dude, he crushed it last week. There's no better feeling than being right, like in fantasy football. But I have so many takes that I'm wrong on, so I'll take my small victory lap there and run with it.
That's a huge dub though, because Ferguson was good 2 years ago, and then he wasn't good last year, so he seemed to kind of fall back into the fold of like that big tier of tight ends where like you can't really set and forget. You're going to have to play matchups or whatever the case may be. Speaking of matchups,
what you got?
So I have to sit Jaylen Warren in a league that we're both in.
Mm-hmm.
My 2 options to replace him: Wan'Dale Robinson with a rookie quarterback against a very stingy Chargers defense, or Hunter Henry, potential number 1 target for New England with a great matchup against Carolina.
Who was the first one? Hunter Henry.
Wan'Dale Robinson against stingy Chargers defense, who is facing a rookie quarterback in his very first start today.
Yeah, I don't love Wan'Dale. Give me Hunter Henry. There's still no legitimate receiver 1 there, so he is probably the most consistent receiver there, and he's the tight end. And I know most of our leagues we're tight end premium, so give me that uptick. And like you said, Chargers stingy defense, rookie quarterback. Like if it was Russell Wilson, give me Wan'Dale all day because we know what he does. 1 second.
He says 1 second. So for today's show, we're going to kind of go over, the top 12 in points per game to this point. We won't do total points because there have already been some injuries at certain positions, which we will discuss, and as well as the fact that the Thursday night game's already played, and by the time that, there'll be a Sunday morning game kicking off, and it's just easier to do points per game. So we're going to start with quarterbacks by points per game. So I'm going to read out the top 12, and then we're just going to give our thoughts, and we're not really, there's no real criteria today. We're just going to talk fantasy football. So with 4-point passing touchdown scoring, 6-point rushing touchdown scoring, the top 12 quarterbacks in fantasy football by points per game. Number 1 is Lamar Jackson. He clears number 2 Josh Allen by 3 points per game. Number 3, Caleb Williams, 23.4 points per game. Number 4, Daniel Jones. Number 5, Jalen Hurts. Number 6, Justin Herbert. Number 7, Patrick Mahomes. Number 8, Drake May. Number 9 is Marcus Mariota. He's played 1 game. Number 10 is Baker Mayfield. Number 11 is Jaden Daniels. Number 12, Jared Goff. Jake.
Jared Goff.
I was about to say, what jumps off the page at you there? And let's see, we got some comments here. Good morning, Kyle Singer off YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Full PPR, Shakir, Godwin, Dobbs, pick 2. Shakir and Godwin for me. No, not against Cowboys defense. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm going Dobbs and Secure here. Godwin's coming back into the fold. We don't know how healthy he is. Don't know if he's going to be on a snap count. So, if you want to gamble, go ahead. He is good. He has the rapport with Baker, but Shakir and Dobbs here for me, without a question.
Yeah.
And appreciate you dropping a like, brother.
Yeah, thank you, Kyle Singer, for tuning in. Drop a like, share with your buddies. Yeah, this is tough, man, because Godwin does have a good matchup, but you really don't know what you're going to get. I think he does provide the highest ceiling out of these 3, but it is impossible to tell what the snaps are going to look like and all that nature. So I'm going to go Shakir and Dobbs for now. If I'm looking like I'm going to lose big, say maybe you didn't get what you wanted from the Thursday night game, or you have a bunch of pieces in the Sunday morning game and that doesn't go out as well, maybe you take the chance and go Godwin. But I think Shakir, Dobbs are pretty good picks. Rianne McGandy? Magandi? I'm sorry if I jacked up your name. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe to our channel. Give us a like. I promise I didn't do that on purpose. Full PPR, Ricky Pearsall, Michael Pittman, Brian Thomas Jr., or Cortland Sutton. Pick 2 to play.
I'm going Pittman and I want to say Cortland Sutton, but I'm trying to figure out if it's a homer thing or not. I mean, they are playing the Bengals trash defense, and Ricky Pearsall is getting what's his name back?
Jawan Jennings.
Yeah, Jawan Jennings. There we go.
But Brock Purdy's also going to play.
Brock Purdy is going to play. So, yeah, no, I'm going to go Pittman and Cortland Sutton there.
Yeah, this is strange to say, but I'm going Pittman. I think he's out of these 4 names, he's the lock. I know that would have sounded gross in the preseason, but Daniel Jones is hooping. Michael Pittman's wide receiver 13 on the season in PPR formats. I think that he is a must start moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
This is tough. So with Purdy back against Jacksonville, I'm probably sitting Brian Thomas Jr. until I see something. There's just it's got to be a lack of confidence in himself, right? 6 drops in the last 2 weeks is horrible. That can't happen, right?
Yeah.
People want to blame Trevor Lawrence, but the reality is 6 times in the last 2 weeks, the ball has hit Brian Thomas Jr. in both hands, and then it has hit the ground. That's unacceptable.
Exactly.
So I think I am going to probably lean with you. Who do the Broncos play today?
They don't play today. They play Monday night with the Bengals.
Night. Yeah, they play the Bengals Monday night. Yeah. I would go Cortland Sutton. I'll take Pittman and Sutton. I agree.
Wow, very rare we agree moment.
Is that back to back agrees?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, take Pearsall and says. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. Fade it.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in, though. QB by points per game. So I read off the top 12. Who is your biggest surprise? Just give me one if you can.
Biggest surprise is probably Caleb Williams at 3. I mean, people talk about that, but I mean, Ben Johnson runs a very quarterback-friendly offense that we already know about. He has all the talent around him, which he had his rookie year, but it was just chaotic. And so, kind of not shocked to see him high, but he is up there. And I mean, you got Daniel Jones as well. Nobody expected him to be that high either, but also, once again, quarterback-friendly offense. Has all the talent around him. We just talked about it. We're taking Pittman here. Got Josh Downs. Tyler Warren looks to be the next Sam Laporta, the next Bowers, the next beautiful rookie tight end. And then you got Jonathan Taylor, running back. So he has an onslaught of weapons here, just everything that he could want. And, yeah, so Jones is probably the biggest shocker, but also Caleb Williams. I'm not going to bring Mariota up there because that was just
Mariota. It is interesting that both Mariota and Jaden Daniels are in the top 12 in points per game. Tells you that offense, may also indicate that it is quarterback friendly. So I agree with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is kind of an obvious one. He does have one top 10 finish in his career, but also one thing you didn't mention was that his rushing upside. He has 3 rushing touchdowns in 3 weeks. But one of the things, and speak about being right, one of the things that we were both right about is how good Daniel Jones would be for Jonathan Taylor. And holy crap, is Jonathan Taylor good. Number 1 running back in fantasy football. We'll get to the running backs in a little bit. My number 1 surprise, and I'm trying to avoid the obvious, but it's Justin Herbert at 6. And I say Justin Herbert at 6 because nobody expected the Chargers to come out and throw the football at the volume that they have to be able to sustain Justin Herbert being a top 6 quarterback through 3 weeks. It's not a question of his ability. I think that, when they drafted Amarion Hampton, they signed Najee Harris. It was, okay, they are going to run the football at people. Justin Herbert will throw the football 25, maybe 30 times a game. And they came out week one and proved that instantly wrong and let Herbert sling the football all over the Chiefs. He looked fantastic, as you would expect. And that has kind of sustained through 3 weeks in the season, is that we are seeing a volume passing game from the Los Angeles Chargers, which is not something that we expected. Is it a question of talent? Absolutely not. Justin Herbert has finished as QB2 on the season before, but through 3 weeks, him being at QB6, based on what we were expecting in the beginning of the season, that is a little surprising to me.
Okay. It's not a shock to me. He was throwing the football around like a crazy man last year. So here's a question for you.
Okay.
Fantasy football question. Just popped off my head. PJ Washington or Hollywood Brown? Or I'll just throw it in there just because. Isaiah Pacheco.
PJ Washington?
Is that not his? The Jacksonville wide receiver?
Parker?
Is it Parker?
Yeah, Parker Washington. I mean, it could be PJ. Maybe he's a junior and it goes by PJ, but I know him as Parker Washington.
Okay, yeah, Parker Washington. There we go.
So Parker Washington or who?
Isaiah Pacheco or Hollywood Brown?
God, that's wow.
Yeah.
It always surprises me how down bad people are by week 4, and then I look at my teams and I go, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, this is a 3 flex spot, 3 receiver team. And
it's PPR.
Yeah. Tight end
I'd take the chance on Hollywood, man. I know Xavier Worthy's supposed to be back, but I would probably take the chance on Hollywood, man. I don't.
Yeah, no, I have him in there. I was just like, do I have anybody else? And like, because it's tight end premium. I think it's 2 points, and I have Jake Ferguson, Brock Bowers, and Zach Ertz in there.
Is it Scott Fishbowl or no?
No. This is I just joined a random one because we have a bunch of leagues where we're all in together.
Yeah,
and we have a bunch of the same people, and so I just went out there, found the most random league I can get into, and yeah, it was an interesting format. I was here for it.
Yeah, it's nice to get fresh blood and play with different people and get different perspectives. So it's part of the reason why I enjoy the leagues like Scott Fishbowl and the Expo League so much.
Yeah. I
agree. Let's jump over to the running back side. Quite a few interesting names here. Definitely going to be something to talk about here. So, number 1 in points per game in PPR formats. Number 1 is Jonathan Taylor. Number 2 is Chris McCaffrey. I don't think there's any real surprises there. Both those guys, definitely as good as Taylor's playing, him being RB1 so far is not out of the question. Number 3 is James Cook. Number 4 is Jahmyr Gibbs. Number 5 is Bijan Robinson. Number 6 is Devon Achane. Number 7, Javonte Williams. Number 8, David Montgomery. Number 9, Travis Etienne. Number 10, Bucky Irving. Number 11, Chuba Hubbard. Number 12, J.K. Dobbins. What is the first thing that comes to your mind hearing that list?
J.K. Dobbins.
All right, Homer.
I'm just shocked because me and all my eggs were in the R.J. Harvey basket, so kind of in shambles, and that's why I'm running around everywhere trying to find sit spots.
So it's interesting. I read a stat before week 3. So this was obviously through 2 weeks, which is not like a real sample size, but it was interesting to read that I think J.K. Dobbins was like first in explosive run rate and like third in missed tackles forced. And some of these numbers that I was like underlying metrics I was seeing is like, this guy is, a must start. Like you have to start him every week because based on these numbers, he can go hit the home run ball at any point in time.
Yep.
And he has a great matchup again this week. So him being top 12, it's nice to see J.K. Dobbins come back. Obviously, he struggled with massive injuries that took him out when he was with Baltimore. Showed flashes of potential there. I think his one healthy-ish season, he averaged like over 6 yards a carry, which is insane. But he's obviously a very talented guy. It's nice to see him finally, stay healthy and produce there in Denver.
No, I absolutely love to see it. And It hurts. I want to see RJ Harvey there. I have him in like 8 of my 11 leagues, but
And I think RJ Harvey will get his chance. I don't think
no, he's gonna. And I mean, with the injury history and all that, it's a safe bet to have RJ Harvey. Honestly, if you're in a dynasty league, go out and trade for him. You can probably trade a second for him, and I think you're gonna get a steal. But I can't say that because I'm a Broncos fan, so it sounds like homerism at its finest.
I agree with that take, man. He's a pretty good buy low at this point, with second round draft capital. And, the Broncos, Sean Payton didn't invest in him, knowing that he had the flaws that he has. Obviously, they plan on working him in somehow, working out those flaws. I don't think that they would have spent a second rounder had they not intended to use him. But then again, Marvin Mims was Sean Payton's very first pick, and he hasn't really panned out. By the way, that's something I'll give you your props on if I haven't already. You were big on Troy Franklin coming into the season. I was big on Marvin Mims being the wide receiver too. And so far, tip of the cap, man. I think you're right there.
Did we make a bet there?
No,
Okay.
I don't think we made a bet, but I thought that was I do remember that being a topic of discussion coming into the season, that something we talked about.
You asked me. I do remember you asking me about it, and I gave you my best answer that I could.
Hey, man, it's weird. Sometimes you do know more about the team that you follow most than everybody else does. How about that?
Wild. It's a wild thought, right?
Yeah, so Javonte Williams with a resurrection, playing at a 69% snap share. I mean, he's almost 76 rushing yards a game, 20 receiving yards a game. So we're talking 96 yards a game here. And he's doing all this. He's only got one touchdown on the season.
He's been the bell cow for the Cowboys, and I honestly just love to see it just because I love.
He has 3 touchdowns on the season. My mistake.
I was like, I feel like he scored.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like he scored twice in week 1, but yeah, he has 3 touchdowns on the season.
No, he does good. He does good for the Cowboys. We're gonna see how it goes with CeeDee Lamb out now, because I think they might just start loading the box and making Dak throw. But I mean, he went through it. The talent's there. It's always been there. I mean, he still looks a little slow. But what's that face?
I got a question.
Oh. Okay. We like questions.
I just told them to pop into YouTube and ask.
That's what I told Rianne. That's why I said hold on, is I was telling her ask it in the chat.
Yeah, that's my thing is if we're live, especially, like, come on now.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'll help you with my opinion. I'll give you my opinion, but you got to help me out.
I mean, every like, every share, every view just helps us grow as a community, and that's kind of what we're here for. We just want to grow this. We want to put out a good product, and so your questions actually help with that.
Absolutely. It's not that I'm unwilling to give you the answer. It's you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Ooh, and we hate running backs.
Yeah. So something else that jumps off the page to me. I know that there were people that were down, not just you, right? This was a very popular community opinion that the Detroit Lions offense was going to, be just not downright awful, but they were just going to be miserable without Ben Johnson. They weren't going to look the same through 3 weeks. That is absolutely incorrect. And through 3 weeks, even I, who kept saying they will not be affected by the offensive coordinator change, they will be affected by natural regression because there's no way they keep up the pace that they had last year. Even that looks wrong because they just score at will on people. I mean, Green Bay obviously looks like a legitimate defense at this point. So week 1, probably more tail that. Week 2 and week 3, they're just putting it on teams. And both Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery in the top 8 in points per game. Yeah, that's with Jared Goff in the top 12. Yeah, that's an offense that's just going to continue to go through. There's too much talent there. So, Tim Hawkins, thank you for tuning into YouTube. Please subscribe if you haven't. Go ahead and give this stream a like.
Am I wrong? If you haven't subscribed, we got problems.
He asks, dynasty question, am I wrong to ask for 2/3 for Ramondre Stevenson?
I don't think that's enough.
Wow, that is not the direction I was going to go. I was going to say, are you wrong for asking for that? No.
I don't think you're wrong for asking it, but at the same time, he's still been the bell cow.
Yeah, until he just fumbled twice last week. We'll see how that goes.
You know what? You're not wrong. But at the same time,
that leads to an interesting topic. How bad do you think Travion Henderson is that the first running back out on the field after Stevenson fumbled twice was Antonio Gibson, who also has a fumble?
Is like, what did Henderson do to piss off the coaches at the Patriots?
Yeah, because Gibson also has a fumbling problem in his career. That's what got him benched in Washington by Ron Rivera.
And he fumbled last week. So that's just wild.
Yeah, so I know everybody's widely expecting Travion Henderson to get more involved. I'm curious. I personally am a fan of getting out on Ramondre Stevenson now because sooner or later that ship's coming to an end. That sale is going to die. But, I would just get out as soon as I possibly could. Chandler Purvis pops in, says, morning, sir.
Morning, buddy. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. So, yeah, those are my surprises for running backs. You got anything else you want to talk about running back-wise?
No, I think we're good there.
All right. Wide receivers by points per game. Again, PPR format. We are talking about the number one wide receiver, points per game. Do you want to guess who it is? Do you know who it is?
Number one wide receiver?
Points per game.
Points per game, wide receiver. I'm going to go with I don't know. I'm going to go with I feel like it's somebody off the cuff, not out of the top three that everybody wanted to be. I'm going to go with St. Brown.
St. Brown is number 2.
Damn.
Puka Nacua is number 1 in points per game.
Yeah, that's about right.
So Puka, Amon-Ra St. Brown, number 2. Rome Odunze, number 3. After his massive week last week, Trey Tucker's number 4. Interestingly enough, Trey Tucker has played at least 91% of the snaps in every game. Number 5, welcome back, Keenan Allen. Number 6, Quentin Johnston, so back-to-back Chargers. Number 7 is Garrett Wilson. Number 8 is Jackson Smith-Njigba. Number 9, Malik Neighbors. Number 10, Emeka Egbuka. Number 11, Jamar Chase. And rounding out the top 12 points per game is Michael Pittman Jr.
Bless you. Bless you again.
Thank you. Let's get to the questions we've got in the chat here. Yeet56, thank you. Good morning, fellas. Flex one, Hubbard, Judkins, or Pollard.
I know who I want.
Give me
but
Chuba.
I can't tell if it's a homer pick or not. I want Quinshon Judkins. I'm not going to lie. He looks mean right now for the Browns.
Why is that a homer pick?
Just because I feel like I love Quinshon Judkins right now. Like in my head, like I've been trying to trade for him. Nobody wants to give him up unless I give up like 3 firsts. I'm just, come on now.
Yeah, Judkins does look good, but I'm going to lean Chuba Hubbard.
Injury, like don't know what it is. So, I mean,
yeah, I could see either way. I'm definitely not doing Pollard. He seems like a jag who's surviving off of volume at this point.
Yeah.
But given the fact that it's PPR and I see more consistent receiving work out of Hubbard, I lean Hubbard.
Yeah, if you have Pollard, try and go sneak Spears somewhere right now.
Yeah, Spears is on IR. He last year Spears was like RB3 in the fantasy playoffs. He just absolutely went off when Tony Pollard was out. I think he averaged over 20 points a game.
Yep. But
thank you for tuning in. Good question. Love that. Tim Hawkins says Rome with that year 3 breakout, or at least that's what he attempted to say. Yeah, so I listed off the top 12. What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Quentin Johnston and Keenan Allen.
Yeah, 2 charge. It goes back to what I said about Herbert. I didn't expect this kind of volume.
Hey, chat, let us know if Ryan's freezing or not, because he's freezing on mine.
Could be me.
Maybe,
Can you hear me?
maybe I'm the problem.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
It's just like your face is freezing constantly.
You're pretty smooth on my end, so maybe it is me.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll buff out. But so your biggest surprise, Los Angeles Chargers wide receivers. Yeah, I would agree with that. That's one of my bigger surprises. Tim Hawkins says, seems like QJ is turning a corner, question mark. Talk about year 3 breakout.
Yeah, that's a year 3 breakout for sure. He is a first-round talent. I think people forget about that. They wrote him off after the first year. Second year, he had a quiet wide receiver 2 fantasy year.
I think it was wide receiver 3. I think he was wide receiver 36.
Was he?
Yeah. Actually, wide receiver 39. So just outside wide receiver 3 territory.
But okay, yeah. But he had some boomer bust games in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a solid flex play, right? Like if you can put somebody in your flex and they give you like 20 points, that's not bad. Rome with that year 3 breakout. Rome's only in his second year. So that's fine. Garrett Wilson, seeing the volume to sustain. Jackson Smith and Jigba, looking like that I was potentially wrong about selling him. I'll eat that one up. Emeka Egbuka at wide receiver 10. So let's talk about that for a second because the expectation, after the draft was Egbuka was obviously going to sit behind Godwin and Evans and possibly McMillan. He was going to learn for a year. He, is going to have the safest floor of the class, but doesn't have a ton of upside. Here we are 3 weeks into the season. He's averaging just under 5 catches a game, just over 60 yards, and a receiving touchdown a game. Is this a sell moment for Egbuka? Like, do you think that, his value is not going to increase any higher than where it's at now?
I mean, I agree that it might not increase as high as it is right now, but I would have a hard time selling him.
Yeah, if you're balling out, if you're like, competing, rebuilding, like there's no scenario where you should sell Egbuka, so I agree with that. But
yeah. I sold him. You could tell me what you think of this, which this was pre
buying and selling in Dynasty Fantasy Football is like the stock market, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about timing.
Oh, how do you get to the history?
What league?
On trade. On the computer.
What league?
Oh, wow.
Jordan Mason with a fumble returned for a touchdown.
Yep, I was just about to say Jalen Ramsey just scored a touchdown. Oofda. Ooh, let's give this guy some flex help.
Yep. Okay, Smurfino. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe on YouTube. Throw us a like if you haven't done already. Hey, y'all, I need some flex help. PPR tight end premium. Njoku or Trey Tucker? Ooh, this is interesting because I have a similar scenario. 2 different leagues with these players, though. I'm a big Njoku guy. So I think in tight end premium, I probably lean him. Jake, what are your thoughts here?
Tight end premium. Yeah, you go with the safe pick here. Njoku, tight end premium. He's going to get his 8 targets. Yeah, everybody's on the Fannin thing, but I like Njoku here. And Trey Tucker, the Raiders are playing the Bears.
That should be a shootout. I think that game is going to be high scoring.
But
oh no, didn't the Raiders just play the Bears?
Did they?
I thought they did.
I might be wrong. It's kind of hard. I barely have any Raiders players, if any. So.
Oh yeah, no, they play the Raiders. So you're right.
Okay, cool. But I see the Browns playing the Detroit Lions. I see them having to pass the ball a lot, and yeah. I got reversed.
I like Njoku here as well, but Trey Tucker at this point should be considered for flexes. Welcome to the new fantasy season 2025, where Chip Kelly's using Trey Tucker more than he is using Ashton Jeanty.
Thank you, Hawkins. But yeah, give me Njoku there. I think he has the safest floor.
Okay.
Because Trey Tucker has potential to, have 2 targets but no catches.
Yeah, right. Last position up.
I have that trade real quick that I want to ask.
Oh yeah. What's up?
Jesus. I got your Marchase here, and I traded Jerry Jeudy, Igbuka, my next year's first and second.
I don't hate that deal.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I will disagree. Judy's a Jag. Steve Smith could not have been more right about that.
I agree.
Yeah, like he saw immense amounts of volume that got him to wide receiver 12 at some point, but the reality is he's just not that good. So I would value him close to a second round pick. And then yeah, we'll get to that one in a second. So I'd value him close to a second. When I'm acquiring guys like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, top tier players at their position, like seconds are almost throw-ins at that point because I'm expecting them to give me elite production to the point where I'm going to compete, and those seconds are going to be toward the end of the round anyway. And I did the breakdown on second round picks. They only have about a 30% hit of being fantasy relevant through 2 years anyway. So, yeah. I don't hate that deal, man. You couldn't have expected at that time what Igbuka was going to do, moving forward.
Burrow getting hurt, kind of.
Right. Yeah. Another question. Appreciate it, y'all. I got one last one. Trey Tucker or Xavier Worthy?
Worthy.
Worthy?
Yeah, give me Worthy. I mean, you have the same explosive ability, but a better quarterback, a better offense.
Yeah, more touchdown potential. Worthy it is. One thing I do like about Carson Wentz being in there, though, is he is going to get the football out of his hands into the hands of Mr. Justin Jefferson for a 23-yard reception.
Yep.
Justin Jefferson with, I believe, 3 or 4 catches already at this point.
Does he really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
3 catches, 35 yards in the first quarter.
You love to see that.
Let's see. So tight ends by points per game. All right, last position. Here we go. Boy, this is the top 2 that I was expecting to see. I drafted Trey McBride, Brock Bowers, and instead at number 1 and number 2, I'm getting Jake Ferguson and Juwan Johnson.
Everybody had that on their bingo card, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. Those guys.
Number 3, Trey McBride. Number 4, Hunter Henry. Number 5, Dalton Kincaid. Number 6, Tucker Kraft. Number 7, George Kittle. Number 8, Zach Ertz. Number 9, Brock Bowers. Number 10, Tyler Warren. Number 11, Dallas Goedert. Rounding out the top 12 is Mr. Harold Fannin Jr.
Harold Fannin, shocker.
What jumps off the page at you there?
Fannin, for sure. But, I mean, nothing you can really do about that.
Would you start Calvin Ridley or Trey Tucker?
Ridley.
I know he's been seeing the volume, and Houston should be a pretty good matchup. Just hasn't converted into fantasy points yet, which is frustrating to watch.
I'm also going to say this. Holy cow. All they're doing right now is throwing to Jeddah.
I mean, good strategy. Let's constantly pepper the best player on our team.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is.
But yeah, so you weren't on the fantasy show when I talked about it, but how do you feel about Carson Wentz and the Kevin O'Connell offense?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Carson Wentz, for those of you that do not know, is very familiar with him. I said I was very familiar with him and then pointed at the flag behind me. Carson Wentz thrived on RPO. He thrived on getting the football out of his hands very quickly. He thrived on, short to intermediate routes. Obviously has arm strength to throw the ball deep, but that wasn't the best part of his game. And Kevin O'Connell is going to find ways to distribute the football to players that he wants open. I think that it's a great fit for Mr. Carson Wentz. I think that he should take advantage of this opportunity to try and land himself a job for next year.
No, I think that's what he's doing. I couldn't agree more. But, hey, we'll see.
Do you hear that?
No.
Okay. My dog is like snoring his ass off. Like this is the most boring show that he's ever listened to in his whole life.
Probably is.
Yeah, so top 12 tight ends. I read them off. What's your surprises?
Did you read off Kittle?
Yeah, Kittle at number 7. Mind you, Mr. Hawkins, this is points per game. So the fact that he hasn't played in since week 1 does not matter a ton.
Yeah, no. Kincaid, it's nice to see.
Yeah, Kincaid's a nice one. Hunter Henry at number 4. It's nice to see that he's getting the volume that he deserves. Jawan Johnson at number 2 is the obvious one.
Yeah. But you didn't say Bowers, right?
He's 9.
Oh, he's 9. Dang. Okay.
Yeah. 71% snap share. It's interesting to see the snap shares of tight ends. So I'll read them out. Number 1, Jake Ferguson's at 69%.
Nice.
Number 2, Jawan Johnson's at 95. Number 3, Trey McBride's at 93. Number 4, Hunter Henry's at 86. Number 5, Dalton Kincaid's at 51. Number 6, Tucker Kraft is at 90. Number 7, George Kittle's at 28. He played about a quarter of the first game and then left. Zach Ertz is at 70. Brock Bowers is at 71. Tyler Warren's at 79. Dallas Goedert's at 87. Harold Fannin Jr. is at 67%. Which also, for note, David Njoku is also at 81, which means that the Cleveland Browns are basically just running 2 tight ends every time they go out on the field.
No, exactly. And that's all they do. 12 personnel to the finest.
That's probably why Quinshot Judkins is, thriving. Those 2 tight end sets are pretty good for running the football. But last topic I kind of want to talk about, though, because it's huge. It's huge for both of us. Scott Fishbowl update.
It's been a fun one so far. So let's hope it keeps up.
I mean, you obviously have the loss on your record, but you're killing it, man. What are you, top 400?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I texted you at the end of last week. I think you were like 378.
Yeah.
I'm just outside the top 500. I'm at 554.
Yeah, had a terrible week 2, and I'm gonna need my guys to keep balling out, but I have no bench. I don't see this sustainable. I have no bench, and I'm like RJ Harvey is in my lineup every week, but I also have like Loveland in my lineup.
Read out your lineup.
Here, I'll read out the lineup.
So while Jake's pulling that up, I'm going to talk through Scott Fishbowl a little bit. So for those of you that don't know, Scott Fishbowl is the largest fantasy football tournament in the world. There aren't necessarily divisions per se, but it is, there's a bunch of 12-team leagues that are all compiled into one league. The playoffs start week 12. I believe what it is 13 wins. So there is a league median in this league. 13 wins guarantees you a playoff spot, and then the remaining spots are filled out by the highest total point scorers from across the whole thing. So when we talk about what place we're in, it's not necessarily by record, it's by total points for. That's where your place is determined. So Jake, why don't you go ahead and read out your team and we'll, walk through it.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
We got Jahmyr Gibbs, stud. Trey McBride, stud. Jonathan Taylor, stud.
Timeout. Who was your second player?
Trey McBride.
Okay, Trey McBride.
Then we got Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
Omarion Hampton.
Brighter looking days ahead.
Willie Marks.
Woody Marks?
Woody Marks, whatever his name is.
Dude, Woody Marks is going to be the starter there by week 9.
Yeah, that's what I see happening as well. But we got Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
RJ Harvey.
Okay.
Khalil Shakir.
Yep.
Jake Ferguson.
Good shit.
Caleb Williams.
That's good shit.
And then I had J.J. McCarthy and Carson Wentz. I was able to get Wentz off of the free agency.
Good pick.
I have Spencer Rattler. But
Okay.
here's where it gets El Terrible, ladies and gentlemen. I have Ray Davis. Jalen Wright. Tajay Spears.
If you know about Ray Davis, you know.
Yeah. Kendre Miller. Pat Bryant. Zacchaeus. Loveland. Noah Fant. And Myers.
Jacoby Myers?
Michael Myers.
Michael Mayer?
Yeah, that guy.
Wow, dude, your bench is terrible.
And there's nobody.
Dude, so what I would start doing if I was you, I would just start picking up handcuff running backs. Like Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer can go hit free agency for all I care. If there's Braylon Allen on the line, Devin Singleton, I'm picking up all backup running backs.
That's the thing is here's the backup runner. I mean, I could pick up.
Yeah, who's on waivers for you?
Xavier Scott, Minnesota running back. Samaje Perine. Joey Chestnut. Just kidding, his first name isn't Joey. It's Julius Chestnut. Wilson, Trey Sermon, Allen, Devin Neal, Isaiah Davis, Dylan Labe, Tyler Beatty.
Dude,
it's all.
Yeah, that's pretty gross actually. So, but yeah, it sounds like right now like you're really being carried by Taylor, Ferguson, Gibbs. But that's kind of the point of fantasy right there is you're banking on upside from these, high ceiling players. And obviously they're doing exactly what you drafted them to do.
Nope, exactly.
So here's my team. James Cook, Jawan Johnson, Keenan Allen, Alvin Kamara, Dallas Goedert, Wan'Dale Robinson, Tony Pollard, Zach Ertz, David Njoku, Devon Achane, Brock Bowers. That's who I have in my starting lineup this week. Getting Jawan Johnson in the 17th and Keenan Allen in the 20th round was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I also have J.J. McCarthy. I took a swing on Anthony Richardson, and obviously that has panned out greatly. He can't hurt my team if he's not playing. Braylon Allen, Devin Singletary, Damian Pierce, Sean Tucker, Calvin Ridley, Jalen Tolbert, Jatavion Sanders, Harold Fannin, and Dalton Schultz. The recurring theme with my draft was I just went tight end and running back. I was that's based on the scoring settings in Scott Fishbowl. That's all I did. I ended up drafted Keenan Allen late, but I picked Wan'Dale Robinson up off waivers. I picked, I drafted Ridley and Allen. Those are the only two wide receivers I drafted. I drafted J.J. McCarthy and Anthony Richardson. Those are the only two quarterbacks I drafted. Everybody else was a running back or a tight end.
Yeah, I was about to say the only receiver I drafted in that entire draft, which was an accident because I was intoxicated, was Khalil Shakir.
Yeah, that 10 beers and 10 rounds thing really, 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 really was a bad idea.
Dude, that was a terrible – who let me do that?
What do you mean let you do that?
Like –
I sat there and watched you do it.
Oh, no, see, you let me do it.
I do let people make their own decisions. Good thing that you didn't have to buy into Scott Fishbowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how it's going. I'm one of 445 teams left that are still undefeated.
I'm proud of you. Keep it that way.
DK Metcalf just did something huge. Kenneth Gainwell
just scored a touchdown.
Yeah, DK Metcalf, 3 catches, 42 yards. So it's basically just going to be Metcalf and Jefferson the whole fucking game. Got it.
Yep. And Gainwell. I think he has the receiving yards right now. Let's see. Kenneth Gainwell. He has 2 catches for 12 yards. I need him to get 19 more yards.
What did you get him at? 31?
31 was plus 134.
I like that.
So did I. 21 was like minus 117. And I was just like,
yeah, you might as well go for the big swing at that point. How much you put on it?
A hundo.
I like that.
I liked it too, so.
Jake, is there anything else you would like to talk about before we peace out and let these people go watch football for the rest of the day?
I was about to say we're going to do the same thing. No, just make sure to tune in next week.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. All you got to do is screenshot and get that QR code in the top corner. Thank you for tuning in to B.S.ing Sports this week, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports.